I think I'd be doing us a disservice by remaining silent. I'd be wading in the collisionist waters of hypocrisy if I didn't at least attempt to allow his legacy a fair shake. Every noteworthy figure has a story. Who determines that story? We do. We do. And I truly believe that's imperative that we learn to look beyond the person and focus on the message. Unless the person is just detrimental to your personage, that's a whole nother story. But we're talking about somebody who was offering opinions based on a specific niche market. And I guess the wrong people were calling in. To be honest, that's what I saw. A lot of time the wrong people or the right people were calling in because they were looking for advice from somebody who they knew was going to give them some honest advice that they might not like. It's part of the hook. It was part of the hook. Part of the medicine in the candy. Because no matter how many people said that he was disrespectful and he was against black women and he hated black women and this, that, and the third, I saw a different story. I didn't catch that. It might be because I watched what he said in context in its entirety. Could be. Now, I'm not Team Kevin. I'm not Team Kevin Samuels. I'm Team Culture. Specifically, Team Culture Shift. That means I'm all for the idea of introducing and practicing thought that lends itself to the progression of society. So honesty and accountability have to be had no matter how the truth makes you feel. Should it be disrespectful in nature? No. And again, that's why I said I can understand why people would, be taken aback by some of the things that he said. But I wouldn't go so far as to say he's anti-black woman, anti this, I didn't catch that at all. So I would like to know where a lot of people's comprehension skills lie. So the clips of his most savage moments on IG are what grab the attention of the masses. Just think about it. Had he continued to do what he was doing before Kevin Samuels became Kevin Samuels, will we even be having these conversations? It's the same reason the Shade Room, DJ Academics, and other low vibrational mediums, Breakfast Club, all the low vibrational mediums thrive. It's the same reason. Ironically, shade gets more shine than the light. But we have to change that. We're
gonna look at that. I mean, who can stand up to clips? I can take anybody out of context in a clip, but see what does that more than anything else is that clip started a conversation, and more women come and said, you know what? When I first saw this clip, I was shocked. Well, I want to say why we're shocked because people don't tell women the truth these days. Men get told the truth all the time. Women have no problem telling a man, I don't want an average man. It happens every day on my show. TLC said they don't want no scrubs. And we have no problem telling average men, you ain't crap. But if I just happen to have the nerve to agree with a woman that says she's average, then I'm Satan. I think that's interesting.
What's up? I know. You didn't personally celebrate. You know, when you heard the news of the passing of the late Kevin Samuels, right? It wasn't you. And a lot of your friends didn't either. I get it. I get it. Nobody's accusing everybody of being that guy or girl or whatever. Nobody's accusing anybody of being that person. But what we are saying is, or at least what I'm saying is, it happened and it's still happening. How does one celebrate a person's death? I mean, I get it. Some of y'all don't care either way, and that's fair. I get it. Some people just either way. But I would hope that the human in you like feels for the life of someone being lost, feel for their family, feel for those who did care about them. It's a life lost, and that's what I was talking about in my last video, right? About humanity. Sometimes we just suck as humans, but I also get the fact that you may not, you know, you weren't subscribed to him in life or on YouTube, and that's fair. That's fair. You don't have to care about him. You may not have had him filtered into your interest. Honestly, like, neither do I. I mean, I saw the same clips everybody else saw. Kevin Samuels' most savage moments. I saw all of that. But I've also seen full episodes of Kevin Samuels that offered a different perspective. So when I say that I'm not caping for Kevin Samuels, what I am doing is making my voice heard to combat these type of voices, right? Take a good look at this face, y'all. Take a good look at this face. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just saying we know it's Vivica Fox. So what she said was, I didn't find it. Well, let's go to the title first. I'm pretty sure y'all probably saw it. Vivica A. Fox says Kevin Samuels' death is karma for comments about Black women. And then she says, this man, hold on, let's highlight it so y'all can see it. This man was a hypocrite. Oh, what happened? Where'd it go? Vivica, did you do that? Okay, here we go. This man was a hypocrite. In my honest opinion, he was. I didn't find anything about him to be healing. He insulted African American women consistently. So, you know, y'all know I like facts. I'm all about facts. So I watched this video earlier. Nothing healing, right? Fair use. Fair use.
What do you mean?
It's for educational purposes.
I guess he had already had enough of everything. I stayed home.
Who has custody of the boys?
I do.
How old is the youngest?
8.
How often do they see their father?
Not often at all.
Why?
He says he's not financially stable to see them or take them because I take all his money after the divorce. So blames me for that. But I offer, I beg.
Hold on.
I mean, he doesn't.
What state are you in?
Pennsylvania.
Let's fast forward a little bit. Yeah, y'all got to watch the whole thing on your own, but I'm just gonna skip to a couple parts that are kind of key.
Child support, and you actually have joint physical custody with their father, to where now the reason for the money is gone because he has to pay for them when they're with him. You have to pay for them when they're with you. So there's no need for the money. How does it hurt the boys?
I understand what you're saying. It doesn't hurt them at all. But if he doesn't have a place to live, where would he take them half of the time?
So he lives in his car?
He lives on somebody's couch.
Are you getting child support every month?
Yeah.
So he's on somebody's couch.
I didn't ask him to do that.
I didn't say you asked her to do it, but I just want you to understand that from the man's standpoint, ain't nobody gonna have shed one tear because you were with a man and you said it. And now after the marriage, you getting the money. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but what's more important, having a functioning relationship with your ex and having your boys with their father and having some semblance of a family, or this cold war?
Sounds pretty healing to me.
No,
sounds healing
no.
to me.
You can beg him to stay, but I asked you the first thing, what was the name of your therapist? And the problem is he hasn't seen enough change. So let's just imagine this happens. Let me use my Thanos powers here.
This is a pretty good part. Miss Vivica A. Fox, I would love to know, what did you watch? Because you couldn't have watched this episode. You couldn't have watched this one. But I digress.
Shall we? Let me use my Thanos powers. Hello, Eric. Hey, this is me. Yeah. I want to do something. The boys don't see you that often, and I know you're in this way, and you say it's on me because I get the money. So here's what I want to do. I went down to the court and I actually terminated the support order. So terminated the support order, and I want to have joint physical custody with the boys. I give you about 90 days to get yourself together to where you have a place to where the boys can come over there. So you should be able to do that with the money you get. There's videos on YouTube right here with women who have cut off the child support, and been helpful to the ex-husband, and now they're in a better position. How does it hurt the boys?
It doesn't hurt them at all, Kevin.
So do you not think if you cut the support off, what do you think he would do?
I think he wouldn't, because
So you think if you cut the child support that he would not see the boys?
Correct. We separated for 5 years.
Okay. So let me stop you right here. I want you to stop you right here.
Yes, sir.
You want to get back with the man who you said if you cut the child support off, you just keep the money and still not see the boys.
Correct.
So why you want to get back with a man with such a low character?
I got to turn it off on that point. Hey, look, y'all seen enough from me showing you. But what I would love for everybody to do, especially those who have a negative perception of this man, is take a moment. Take a moment to go check out the full episode. Don't base your opinion off of little clips. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Y'all lunching. Y'all are lunching. I was on my Facebook page, being an old head, like my son would say. And then I came across a story of Celicia, one of my friends on Facebook, and I must say it was super refreshing to see the things that you were saying in regards to the late brother Kevin Samuels in his passing, because there was a lot of people that are painting kind of like an ugly picture of him. And I'm not like team Kevin Samuels, but I'm just like team right. You know what I'm saying? What's the right thing to do? Your Kevin Samuels take was really refreshing, because I saw a lot of women saying that he hates Black women and he's hateful and all this, that, and the third. And that is really why I just wanted to bring you on here, to provide a little perspective. Because me as a Black man, if I say something about Kevin Samuels, I'm just a Black man taking up for Kevin Samuels, right?
Yes.
So if you don't mind, can you just introduce yourself a little bit and then give people a little bit about, how you feel about Kevin Samuels?
Yes. So hello to Rob Naylor Jr.'s audience and everybody who will see this. I am Celicia Lampkin, but a lot of people call me Mookie. It's one of those childhood things that has always been with me, but never left. So if you see Mookie or Celicia, it's the same person. A little bit about me. Look, I am 33. I'll be 34 in December. I call this journey of major transformation. I was born and raised in Virginia, and I am engaged to the man of my dreams. And yeah, just
Congratulations.
getting on with life and looking for results.
So what was it that drew you to Kevin Samuels? Because
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Um, what drew me, of course, I forgot which one of the clips that went viral, because I started watching during the pandemic and then I went through all the years of his content. But I think the average at best, I started watching, I think a little bit before that. That's when he kind of like really kicked off.
Yeah.
But a lot of women were complaining about him. That's how I found out about him. And so I'm like, so since all these people are complaining, let me go see what people are complaining about. And Rob, I fell in love with the man.
You fell in love with the man?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I fell in love with the man. And it was really history from there.
I think that's how a lot of people caught wind of him, is through those clips
Yeah.
on Facebook or Instagram. And what I found very interesting about those clips is a lot of them kind of put him in that light that I guess kind of I don't want to say justifies, but it gets you to understand why people kind of don't like him, is because they put the Kevin Samuels most savage moments and things like that. But what I think is, this is just me. This is a Rob-ism, right? I think that what he was doing was putting the medicine in the candy, pretty much, because he had a lot of gems. So I think those are what brought, like you said, you saw the clip and then it made you go back and look at more stuff, which I don't think a lot of people actually do.
Right.
Because even I had it, when I saw the clips, I was like, all right, let me go look at the full content to get the context of what he's saying. Yeah. And then also just see if what he's saying is what they're saying he's saying. But
to speak to that point, when you say like, oh, the way he talked and what he used to, how he framed and phrased things to talk to women, I don't think it was a marketing tactic. I don't think he did it to sting them. I think it was just a raw truth that none of us women are used to. If we were to reverse the roles, when it comes to us Black women, we can say and do anything about anybody, no matter the time or the day. Yeah. You raggedy, broke, busted, and disgusted.
I agree.
You know, we get a pass to say all those things. I mean, TLC, just think about it. We got sing-along songs. Yeah. No, I don't want no
scrub. Yeah, I got you.
We can keep going through the catalog of all these, songs that we talk about men in these kind of ways, but it's just shocking now that he's saying, hey, you're going to be held accountable. This is the truth. So it's just the same thing.
Yeah, no, I agree, because I was actually watching. I was actually watching a video that he had today. I really wanted to know, like, what was it that got you to the point where, like, you said, okay, I'm gonna make a video about this and put it on Facebook?
Oh, so for a long time, I wanted to share, or for a long time, I have been sharing a lot of gems and new school of thoughts since I moved away from home, 14 years ago. Mm-hmm. And so the reason why I left and joined the organization I did and all that good stuff was because I wanted a different life.
Yeah.
And very early, I understood that the reason why the people are in the situations that they're in where I'm from is because there's no outside exposure. Mm-hmm. So there was voices out there that helped open my mind up. And so I said, hey, each one teach one. I learned that early. So I'm like, hey, let me just share, because what you'll find most out there on the social media nets, you'll always find ignorant stuff. But as far as genuine, authentic, and transformational stuff, it's far few in between.
Right.
So I decide to just try to be that person on social media versus the junk and trash and just share. But the reason why I really want to share about Kevin was because Kevin was so near and dear to me. I've never had a stardom or been starstruck or had this fandom thing going on, but because I really felt like he was my uncle or my father,
Yeah.
I was hurt to the core. In addition to that, I do believe that Kevin Samuel's content can help bring a generation of women and men out of a lot of bondage that we're in. That's how powerful his content is. I think it could really bring us out of a lot of shame that we're in the Black community.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% because a lot of people say that he was just very they act like he just spoke to women, but I have seen that he spoke to men very honestly too.
He started with men, Rob.
Yeah, that's because he's an image consultant, right?
Yeah,
And a lot of people don't realize that's where he's getting his information from. He's not just pulling it out of thin air. He's getting this intel from men, and then he's telling these women, "Hey, I have the answers to the test for you. This is how you need to be, and this is what these men are looking for." And I don't know why it is that they don't want to listen, but maybe they feel like he's too brash or too honest or too harsh or whatever the case may be. But why do you think it is that a lot of women, especially Black women, say that he hates Black women? Because I don't understand.
Rob, you hit the nail on the head. Like that part when you said, you really have to highlight that one. That's the title of this video. Kevin Samuels gave you the answers to the test, baby.
Yeah.
He gave you the answers to the test. It was, I mean, that's what literally it felt like. And when it came to Kevin Samuel's content, the easiest way I can describe it, Rob, is that, hey, he was serving caviar on a golden 24 karat plate platter.
Right.
And he was serving it to people who only had an appetite for bologna and hot dogs.
Right.
So it couldn't equate.
Yeah.
It couldn't compute.
I saw that a lot. From everything that he says, how do they get that? Like, how is that what they get from that he hates Black women? Because I saw a lot of that.
Yeah.
That perspective saying, oh, he hates Black women. And I don't understand how he hates Black women.
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. Really, really good question. I think, I don't know when it started, but I think it started when that feminism stuff, it pumped our heads up so much to where we have become untouchable as women.
Right.
We aren't getting pumped up, steam blowing up our tush or doted over or tripping and fall over. Then most women have nothing to, engage with. They feel offended.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, because and I know it's all like kind of a personal thing, but because some women take offense to this, but when he would ask women questions like, what's your dress size? How much do you weigh? I understand why he's asking those questions, but from a woman's perspective, do you feel like that it is something that's offensive or to be taken in that, in a bad way?
Rob, look, I'm a woman of logic.
Yes.
Whether you tell the man your dress size or not, he can see you.
You're right. He can see you. He's looking right at you.
Eyes, he can see with his own eyes. So again, when it comes to like the logic in women, because men are logic. You guys want to do the measuring, get the numbers, but that's we want to go off emotions. And if a woman who a -2 want to feel she's a 10, she's justified in her own mind, and that's how a lot of women live their life now in their own reality.
Yes.
You start pulling out the numbers, even though we can see that she's a size 20. Yeah. But because you just brought up the mere fact of the number, Rob, the woman spirals out of control because you start to puncture her reality that she has made in her own mind, that she's a 10. Yeah. But once a woman has to accept that, hey, I'm a size 20 and I know a size 20 ain't a 10, her whole reality is distorted. So that's what it was. So when he did those kinds of things, Rob, I'm not a psychologist, but I see it often when looking at these different psychologists on YouTube and such. But there's this certain thing, this little tactic that you have to puncture somebody's reality, like a shocking thing.
To get them to step outside of themselves a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's when things spiral out of control. So once they feel offended, they oh, he hate Black women because da 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 da.
They on the defensive.
But what did he lie about?
Right. Now it's just them. It's really their ego to me. To me, it's the ego gets bruised. So now you're on the defensive. But what I did, even the conversations that he had with the women, it was very respectful from the beginning. Like, that's why I said people couldn't have watched the whole episodes, because he's very, very, respectful, and he's asking the questions. And then it's not, he doesn't get, I guess what they would call brash or rude until they kind of take the conversation there.
Say it, Rob.
They took it, and then he only says certain things in a certain way so they can understand it. I mean, that's what I got from it. But of course, I'm a man, and of course, I'm taking up for Kevin Samuels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But, so to tack on to that, Rob, I think it comes back to, because I've been doing a lot of thinking about this, and I was thinking about this stuff before I even saw Kevin Samuels. So when people are like, oh, you just a Kevin Samuels writer? No, boo-boo. I've been thinking about this stuff before Kevin Samuels. Yeah. And the reality of it is this type of content has been out there longer than Kevin Samuels. He just put a new spin on it. Patrice O'Neal talked about this stuff. Lycus was a guy who talked about this stuff. And there were several others.
Yeah.
But to your point, Rob, where this stuff came from, I believe, and this is my personal experience, is when the Black mom is in the room, whatever she says goes.
Right.
Do you remember stuff like, oh, because I said so?
Yeah.
Well, Mom, because I said so. Well, Mom, I just wanted to, because I'm going to get that belt so early.
Yeah.
Before we even knew what self and I and people in relationship was, we were already in training to be this kind of person that says, whatever I say, go, and I ain't got to cooperate with nobody. We get that typically from our stressed out single Black mothers.
Right. I get it. It's learned behavior almost. Because I saw, when he gets to the core of the issue with a lot of these women, they kind of route the tree up to that. You know what I'm saying? They saw their mom doing it. They saw it was pretty much passed down. I know some people said that, I guess on their timeline, they haven't seen the hate and the celebration of the man's death. But I think that I've seen it enough to know that it's a real thing, especially when you have celebrities like Vivica Fox. I guess we can still call her a celebrity, right? Vivica.
Yeah, I think she's on the D list.
Yeah. Celebrity-ish. She's celebrity-ish. Celebrity adjacent. We'll call her celebrity adjacent. But when you have people with that type of voice saying, pushing our culture in the wrong direction, I feel like these type of conversations are necessary to kind of dispel that and kind of do our part to uphold his legacy in a way, because history repeats itself, right? And then, not to mention, he has family that has social media. And that's the first thing I thought about, was because when the news broke, it was kind of in the air. Like, do we know if he died? Did he die? Did he not die? What's going on? And then I just put myself in the shoes of the people that love him. Like, yo, I would hate to see that. And so as a human, I just felt bad, regardless of what he said to women or anybody or men. I seen him talk crazy to men too, by the way. And I don't think I would have took it any type of way. So do you think that those women are justified in their thoughts, or their hatred for him?
We have been conditioned to be able to say what we want to say to anybody, but nobody say anything to us. He's certainly justified. And the reason why I find no fault in how he said things is because these people willingly came and called onto his show. Boom.
Mic drop. Bomb. Drop the bomb.
I think I got a little bit of sense. Because I actually was trying to set up a personal session with him. I'm like, look, I got too much sense to be going out there in front of the world, because Kevin got he had like 1.2 million or around 1 million followers. I said, ain't no way. Yep. Ain't no way. There's no way that I'm going on that show and fumbling like that.
Right.
But like you said earlier, he only took it there a lot of times when they piped up. Yeah. And so the shock value that Kevin brought to a lot of Black women Black women aren't used to people clapping back at them.
Mm-hmm.
In all sectors, Rob, when I tell you professional, on the streets, in the store, in the grocery store, or buying lace fronts from China, Black women get to run amok and say whatever they want to say to anybody.
Would you say I don't mean to interrupt you. Would you say that's a sense of kind of I'm trying to think, do I want to say it? Entitlement in a way?
Yeah, we have, it's been built up that way. People are afraid of Black women.
Yeah, you see how I was like, do I want to say it?
Yeah, people are afraid of Black women. And I'm gonna tell you, Rob, in my personal experience in the professional work setting, I can always tell that people come in a bit timid because they are not aware of how I'm going to conduct myself as a Black woman.
They bracing themselves.
I'm gonna tell you, Rob, and when I tell this to other Black, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you just brown nose it." And I'm like, "Look, if you just remove yourself out of the situation, just see how these people act."
Yep.
People really don't treat people different. You got somebody from that country, that state, so their sense of humors are all different.
Yeah.
Oh, but because you come in with your closed mindset and you think everybody is against you, you can't even like open up to be friends or be friendly.
Right.
Be friendly with somebody else. So they have to kind of come and walk on eggshells like we had to do with our Black mamas.
Yeah.
Around you in the workplace.
Yeah.
They think I'm just this social butterfly. No, it's a such thing called being friendly, girl. That's what that is.
Yeah. People don't get it.
And I think, yeah, people are afraid. Like, people are afraid of us Black women because they don't know what they're going to get.
So do you, and this is a little bit off topic though, since you brought up the Black women and stuff, I always make it a point to ask Black women I come in contact with and have conversations with, the notion that Black women are, I guess you could say, unprotected. Do you feel like that's a thing? Like, do y'all feel unprotected?
No, or
Because
I don't feel like I'm unprotected.
Yeah, okay, good.
I actually feel protected by all men wherever I'm at, majority of the time. But because us women, we're tipping the daggone scale in this thing, you got more men walking by us and minding their own daggone business because they don't want to get caught up in the hype of what this woman gonna pull out.
We don't know which way to go sometimes. We like, all right, if we do this, she gonna say I'm a weirdo, don't talk to me, da-da-da-da-da.
Rob, tell it. I said, you know what? Women, we're working ourselves up to the point to say, hey, we can be on the side of the road on fire, but because a man is going to be afraid of being Me Too'd, whatever else in the book, weird or crazy, he gonna let you burn.
Yeah.
And I had a friend just yesterday. She wrote a post on social media. She said, this guy was super weird. Don't be holding the door for me when you know I'm still in the car. See? And making it all awkward because I'm still in the car and you standing there holding the door for me. And I was like, you the reason why men don't like us no more.
Yeah.
Whatever they do, they're damned if they do, and they
damned if we don't. So we just, what do we do? But see, that's why we had Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
To try to help, both sides of the aisle. I want to try to do whatever I can with my little voice, you know what I'm saying, and shift the culture, because my whole purpose is not necessarily just for me. I'm looking at the future, right? Like, so I don't want my kids to grow up in the same environment doing the same things that we're doing. That doesn't make any sense. Like if by the time my kids are like in their 20s and they're echoing the same things that I'm saying, then there's a huge problem, because we're still echoing the same stuff from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but I'm glad that we have platforms that, and things that are available for us to come and have these type of conversations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, look, we got to do something about it. Look, I started thinking about this thing, and I know we getting short on time, but Rob, when it comes to our little boys are forgotten about from the womb to the casket.
Right.
Let's just talk about it. When we go shopping for a little boy, we got to go all the way to the back and find a little broke down rack to shop for our boys while the whole kids section is full of girl stuff.
Oh, trust me, I know. I spend a lot of money in that girl section.
And even when it comes down to the books, little girls get to be mermaids, Barbies, and princesses, and all these things. But our little boys only have Thomas the Train and the Tonka Truck.
Yeah.
So there's no coincidence that our little boys get early on that they are only tools for the women to use. Our little boys are reading at a 4th grade level. No wonder.
Yeah.
So the extracurriculums and just the personal development, the self-help is all geared towards women.
Yeah.
Even down to a journal.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to give my brother a journal for Christmas last year. I had to turn Barnes and Nobles up because there was nothing geared toward men journal. But if you wanted something with stars and rainbows and the eyes and
it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Overwhelming. And so we got to do a better job with
catering
our boys from the beginning.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% because I'm 100% for journaling and writing all that, and that's why we wonder why a lot of boys grow up to be men that are emotionally unavailable, and that's because we're not taught to really deal with our emotions properly
at all.
And see, that's kind of like, I guess that's one of my missions. Try to teach them how to, and then hopefully they can grow up to be better boyfriends and husbands to y'all women,
Oh yeah, because we need them. We need them. And I think the reason why that is because, like the stats say that 70% of our Black children are born to single mothers. And so I think the woman, the little girl, she's raised to be this strong hellion because she got to raise and run a house. So she gets there early on. And then the little boy, he gets coddled and, and I think the mother feels some type of guilt. So she babies and raises him. But then on the flip side, she started dressing him in a way to appeal to her to be like the man that she won't.
Right.
It's strange to walk around and see 8-year-olds with Levi's and Jordans and gold chains. I'm like, they look like the daddy that left the mama.
But
so the mom ended up dating the son. And so he just becomes like emotionally damaged from there.
There's a movie for that. I think it's called Baby Boy.
Down here trying to blame everybody for your problems. You need to check yourself. Oh, you know what your problem is, baby boy? You got shit all twisted. You got an Oedipus complex. You want your mama to be your woman, but this is my woman.
Okay, Melvin.
My woman.
All right, that's enough. Come on.
Yes. Look, I had to think about it, but yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. We don't want no baby boys out here, man.
Yes.
Man, but look.
Thinking like, what was that movie? Baby, that was a great depiction of that. Yes.
Yeah. See, and for the super young people, that's a movie with Tyrese, and I'll post a picture of the cover so y'all can go back and watch it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you taking time to have this conversation. Like I said, it was a breath of fresh air to see that video on Facebook because I was of the mindset that I was like, man, women really hated this guy. But, I appreciate the perspective.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks for having me on, Rob. As for your audience, you guys have a great content creator in front of you. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. And spread Rob's content because I'll be doing the same thing. And thank you guys. With us together, we can do it.
We love y'all and we're out. Peace.